Oh, good morning. Tanner here with Find Freedom Outdoors. I'm mixing it up a little bit. It's early. It's 4:50 a.m. I've been on the road. Well, I've been up since 4. I've been on the road since like 4:30-ish. We're doing something I didn't think would come this soon. I mean, I knew it'd come, but we have other priorities that need to be addressed before this. But we're going fishing. No, I got the day off work. We're gonna hit the local dam. I mean, it's not local, it's about an hour drive, but we're gonna do a catch and cook if this works out. I broke both my bait casters on a good start, but both the rods snapped. One I caught like a I don't even know. It's a pretty good sized largemouth bass, but the other one I might have slammed in my trunk, as the good old saying go. Don't put your rod tip anywhere you wouldn't put your fingers. All right, jokes aside. So I'm currently about a quarter of the way there. I'm not driving as fast as I normally would because they just milled this road. I'm sure you guys can hear that god-awful road noise in the background that me or Dan are gonna have a great time trying to edit this out of. But we're gonna go for walleye, wiper, white bass, or hybrids. I mean, wiper are hybrids, but or, tell you the truth, anything that wants to bite. If it's edible and of okay size, it's going in the pot. Hopefully a few of them, because this, I do own businesses on the outside of a business on the outside of just what we do, our day-to-day, and the archery shop. And I've got to paint a house tonight, and the dumbest thing I could be doing right now is going fishing and getting 3 hours of sleep to only make my day rougher tonight. So cross our fingers, hope the good Lord aligns some stars, and dude, if we hammer them, I might leave early and make some fried fish for breakfast. I don't know, we'll see. But we're gonna try this out. Drop a comment down below. Oh gosh, drop a comment down below if you guys, like this content and you'd like to see more content like this, or vlog. I don't really exactly know what to call them, but like a day in the life of a guy who fishes and hunts way too much. I should say guys, but unfortunately Dan has to work today. It is Friday. A 5-minute intro is a little too long, so got to cut some of this out. But see you at the dam. Bye! Alright, so up here, looks like I got the place to myself. There's one feller over there climbing the rocks. I'm sure he's been here all night. Probably been a cold night for him, but I've got about like 30 minutes till I can actually fish. So I'm just gonna set up, set my spot up. One thing I like doing, I like coming down to the water. And I mean, look how beautiful this is. I know dams aren't good for fish and wildlife. Like at one point in time, this is all just one solid river. Man, you got to give it to something. Just the absolute power of water is something unheard of, something crazy. But I like coming down to the water and I like zone out, and I'll show you what I'm looking at. There is a rock right there. Behind it there's some slack water. You got some shallow rocks right there. See the white water right there? Right there is some slack water where some predatory fish will sit. Either fish come through the dam or get hit by a strong current, bonk their head, and they're disoriented. It's a good ambush spot. Now down the river, it's nice and calm, but I'm here for whitewater fish. But yeah, I'm gonna go get all my gear ready, and then probably see you at daylight, because it's still a little dark, which my goal was to get here early. The problem with this place is it's overfished terribly, but the good side of it is normally there's enough fish, not for everyone. There's a good amount of fish here. The sad part about this is a lot of people keep over their limits here, like wiper, white bass, you know, you're not, or striped bass, you're not supposed to have more than 2 over 17 inches or whatever the legal limit is. I don't keep big fish. I tell everyone I'd rather keep 3 or 4 small ones and put the big one back, because a big one is established. It's going to survive 90% of the time. Conservation starts with you. I think everyone should pride themselves on providing a future for the future generation outdoorsmen, and not just hogging it all for themselves. I know it's not hogging it all for yourself, but I think in the sense of my son, you know, and I've always said conservation starts with you. If you make a change, you never know, you might influence someone else to make a change in their fishing or hunting style. So with that being said, I'm gonna get all my gear out, get it packed down, and get set up. I did not bring, my brother thankfully bought me a bait caster, and I was supposed to stop by and pick it up, but I didn't want to wake him up at 5 in the morning, even though he said he'd be up and he wouldn't mind, but just being respectful. I normally use something a little heavier here. I got a little trick up my sleeve, medium heavy fast action rod. I've used it here for years. It's sun faded, it's beat up, but I also brought my ultra light with a rooster tail, so I might try that. I put Dan, his old lady was very kind enough to spool it up for me, because she used it, and instead of taking the line, and I know it's a joke, but instead of taking the line off of it when she's done with it, she thankfully left, I think, 12-pound braid on it, so it'd be okay here. So I might mess around with an ultra light rod, a little catch and cook, a little challenge video. I just want to mix it up for, you know, our normal ordeal. What better way to do that than go from woods to water? I'm sure this video is going to be a little longer. There's a raccoon right there that was running right towards me. I didn't bring my beating stick to beat a raccoon off me, but yeah, sun's coming up. I don't know if you guys can see that very well. Sun's coming up. I'm gonna get my gear ready, and hopefully at first light get a rod in the water. Catch y'all down there. All right, I'm throwing a little rattle trap. I mean, this is my favorite lure. I don't know if you can tell, it's all beat up. Try not to get a treble in me. It's all beat up. It just looks like a shad, and that's what they feed on here. I got my 360, well, not mine. I got Daniel's 360 camera right here. He's so nice. He lets me use his filming gear. Mine's subpar. I've got a nice DSLR, but it takes a couple people to run and film, and he bought all this stuff to do it by himself, which he's a smart man, and he's so nice to let me use it. So let's film a couple casts and see if we can't hook into anything. I mean, it's still a little early. I like to see the sun up a little more than what it is. So as I was saying, if you look down my rod, you can see the rock right there, and behind that is slack water. And so cast in front of it, let your lure, as you retrieve it, float past it, and your odds are greatly increased. Yeah, I think if on video, your lure is gonna be floating from left to right. So as you retrieve, it's actually gonna go downstream versus where you cast it. So you don't wanna cast where you wanna fish. You wanna cast in front of where you wanna fish. I did bring, I think my rod's about to give out, or my reel. That'd be comical. I'd love that, dude. I'm kidding, but I did bring my ultra light. We got one other person over here. to my right. Hopefully he does good today. Hopefully everyone that comes out here has a good day. It'd be really cool to hook up into like a some odd pounder wiper. And all I'm doing is taking this rattle trap and trying to beat it off the bottom and have it hit rocks and make ruckus. And I should have brought either shorts or waders and got in the water, but oh, I just missed a strike. I don't know if you can see that on camera. And got up in that white water just right there at the tip of the fence. You know, you're not really supposed to fish past the fence. People do. I advise against it. The rules are there. I'm not saying you need to follow the rules completely, but we already struggle with having places to fish here. Unless you have a boat or own somewhere. Let's try not to ruin it. You know, yeah, the rules suck, but you know, the rules are there not to keep you safe, but to protect their property. You got to think NIPSCO owns that or leases it. I don't know if they own it or lease it, how it is, and they let us fish here. They don't have to let us fish here. So anything we do that can help us maintain fishing rights here would be, in my opinion, very wise. There are Asian carp in this water. I don't really know if they're upstream or if they floated down to the Wabash and the Wabash to the Ohio. Not sure. Hypothetically, if I do snag one of those, we will keep it. I will eat it. They are good eating. A lot of people give them a bad reputation, but they are a really good eating fish. So a lot of bones, but the good news is they're invasive. So I'm a pretty well a catch and release fisherman. So if you snag, 2 or 3 carp, you can cut the small boneless sections out and feed the rest of your neighborhood cats or whatever, and you don't feel guilty. You're not wasting a good quality game fish. You're actually doing the ecosystem a little better job of removing a species that isn't tolerated in the waters. A lot of people throw them on the bank, which is stinky at best. But then you got, then our tax dollars go to paying someone to pick up after us versus doing the right thing. And a lot of people slit their gill and then sink them. The DNR advise against that and say it's illegal. Oh, look at that. That bird's doing better at fishing than me. But at the same time, that's a trickle-down effect. You're gonna have catfish that's gonna eat it, turtles that's gonna eat it, otters, raccoons when they wash up on the bank or right there at the edge of the bank. So I don't think it's the worst option. I think it's better than throwing them up on the bank for everyone else to step on and have to step around and, fish around. I don't know if you can see all the trash on the ground around here. I should have I think I got a trash bag actually, so at the end of the day I might pick up, I will. I'll pick up a load of trash out of here and try to help, not just me, but help the ecosystem and help everyone that comes after me. I think a lot of people get too complacent with their lives. They think this ecosystem's gonna last forever, which if we don't take care of it, it won't take care of us, and it's taking care of us for millennial. So let's try not to. Oh, I just missed one. I figured it messed my. The birds are fighting over there. Either fighting or you know what. I don't think it's really that time of the season for them, but hey, get it on. Oh yeah, they're fighting, dude. Look at that. LOL. In my face. Which I hope, and I don't mean to sound greedy when I say this, it's just for the sake of filming. I hope no one comes here today other than a couple people, This place will get so crowded. You cast a line, you cross 3 other people's line, you're shoulder to shoulder over one body of water. That gets a little much. Yeah, I'll probably shut this camera off until I get a bite or start hooking into some. Cast downstream real quick. It's supposed to be a beautiful day. Got a cutoff underneath here, so hi to your kids, hi to your wives. I might be taking my shirt off. Just kidding. Oh yeah, I messed that all up, didn't I? Can't rattle trap when you're all tangled up. Can't trap rattles. I will give a little advice. If you ever go down to a dam or a rocky area to fish, you might be tempted to throw your expensive lures. The generic ones work just fine in really fast rocky water like this. Because you throw say a $10 lure, you're guaranteed to break that $10 lure in the span of, I don't know, however long you fish here. I go through 1 or 2 rattle traps. I bought 3 of these ones and this is my last one and it's hanging on for dear life. Ain't got no eyeballs. Most of the paint on the nose is ate up. Paint on the sides ate up. And you get snagged a lot. I'll see you guys when I start catching something. Little late on the starting of the camera, but fish number 1 of the day. Oh, treble right to the finger. Fish number 1, and he's weirdly warm too, so they got the turbines running. I'm not gonna keep it. First fish, in my opinion, always goes back. Nice, healthy little guy. I'm looking for, I'm looking for a little bigger than that, but make sure he gets back in the water. Probably gave him a good concussion, but he hit it right at the bank, so they're up shallow right now. Probably chasing minnows. Let's see what we can do here. Drag it along the shallows here in this slack water. I'd like to get one on camera. I mean, I'm sure it's gonna happen today, but over here on the opposite side of this fence, try to cast in the water. I ain't gonna hurt your birds. Try not to get my boots wet. I didn't wear, like I said, right after this video, I'm gonna go paint. I mean, I'm gonna cook up whatever I catch for lunch. So I guess I should have put on something a little more fishing attire wise. I'll give it 3 or 4 casts here and then head back. I don't really have a foreseeable outcome. I really should have wore shorts and got in the water. It's been nip deep. They're running the turbine, so the water would have been kind of warm. Probably a couple more degrees warmer than what the outside air temp is, so it probably would have felt pretty nice. I mean, couldn't ask for a better view. One thing I love about this place, like, yeah, the dam is an unfortunate sight, but man, watching the water come out of there, watching the way they harness the power of water, is just something that's kind of unique to me. Oh, I just missed one. When I first bought this rod, me and my uncle came here and we brought our waders, and we were standing on that rock pile right there, and my uncle hooked into a 11.7 pound wiper here, and man, did it almost break his rod. There's some powerful fish. You gotta be when you live in whitewater. I know people park over there on the west side and walk over to that rock wall there. I've done it a few times. Some actual very good fishing. That's the place to be, because that's all slack on the backside where I think that's a generator house. I could be wrong. Never been in there. I don't even know what it looks like on the inside. I think that's a generator house, so it's all slack water. And I know a lot of big smallmouth come out of there. Well, I got the camera on. It's one of those things, and I say it a lot, but if you catch a really big fish, there it is. Oh, I just snagged a gizzard shad. He fell off in the water, so if you catch a really big fish, put it back and keep 2 small ones, put back the big ones. Like, yeah, the big ones are cool and all, but to me, fish taste best the day of. In my humble opinion, you put back all the fish you catch, and that gives you a solid excuse to come back fishing in 4 days or whatever when you want to eat some more fish. You know, you're not going to eat fish. I mean, you could. I don't know who. You could eat fish every day, but I don't think you do. Or if you do, good for you. It gives you an excuse to come back. You only keep enough for a fish fry or what you and your family or you and friends are gonna eat. In a few days when you want a fish fry, on Friday you come back to the place and catch a couple more versus catching a bunch and freezing them. I always think when you freeze fish, they're kind of mushy and not watered down, but watered down. Like a soft, mushy taste. I like fresh fish. I like my fish to come from the water to the fryer or however I'm going to cook it that day, whether it's smoked or whatnot. I mean, smoking a fish is probably one of the only exceptions, but normally you catch a bunch and you smoke them the day of. When the last fish out of the river and the water's gone, we're gone. Life around us is gone. As Jeremy Wade says it best, when the last monster's out of the river, everything else is soon to collapse behind it, including us. Go figure. Let's record. I brought out my ultralight just for P's and Q's, and not even my second cast I hook into one. Let's see if I can't make it happen on camera. Kind of hard to cast. This rooster tail is a little over much for this rod. This rod normally is my bluegill rod. It's got 10-pound test on it. So it'll be interesting. Watch, this is a rod I'm gonna like hook into something big. I just wanted to, you know, play around and get silly with it. I didn't actually expect anything to come from it, which I know you're gonna find it hard to believe. This rod is very hard to use. I've got way too much of a lure on it. I put an all-white rooster tail on it. It's one of those things that it's like casting with a wet spaghetti noodle. Never done it, but it's what I imagine it feels like. But I mean, I get some serious distance with it, which is it's an ugly stick, so I am not afraid of breaking it. I don't think you can break it. It's not a dock demon, it's a step up above the dock demon. I think I just hooked into something. No, it's so fast. It has such a fast action on it. I couldn't even feel that I hooked into that fish. I just felt my rod like bend all the way over. I would lose my mind if I caught like a walleye or anything of like really good fighting. I don't think I'd be able to retrieve it completely. I'm sure I could get it done. Might have to get wet. It's all in the name of the game. Which I did catch a largemouth bass here, or few and far between, but I did catch like a 3-pounder or so here, maybe 3.5, 4. I don't have a scale. I don't really carry those on me. There we go. Now we're getting into some appropriate sized ones. This is a striped bass, I believe. I'll have to look at its tongue patch. The better way to tell is the stripes. Of course, he's got all 3 trebles in him, which makes my job hard. But yeah, this is a striped bass. We can keep 2 of them here in Indiana. Not a bad little guy. His face ain't as messed up as I thought it was, so cool. There we go. Gave him a good release. I mean, if we can catch a couple more yay size, then yeah, I'll keep them. But the way I tell is stripes along their back. If they go completely to the tail, then they're stripers. If they're busted up or broken up, then they're hybrids or white. There's a way to tell by the tongue patch. I'm gonna admit I'm not all that good at IDing them, so I only keep 2 that the stripes go completely to the rear fin, the dorsal or whatever. This guy's got my stuff all knotted right up. I'll only keep 2 of those, and then even if I have to keep a couple real small guys, just to ensure I don't break the law or hinder by overtaking any one species. Connecting. There we go. The bite's been hit or miss today. It's a beautiful day nonetheless. I caught a decent one. I wish I would have brought my jig head so I'd be running a soft swim bait right now, which I haven't hit any Asian carp yet. I'm sure they're downstream somewhere. Just a little guy. Just a little guy. But not a bad one. Oh, couple more and those will be dinner. Once the bite picks up, I will start keeping them. But I don't like to keep when the bite's slow, because fish on a stringer die, and I don't know. Very weird and particular on my ways I do things. Let's see about running up another one. If I run up another one, we're definitely gonna start putting them on stringer. You can keep 12 here, which I'll only keep 5 or 6. I mean, I can eat 12. I could eat about 4 pounds of fish, but I can't justify taking it home. My wife won't eat it. I mean, she will, but she's been doing very good on a diet, so fried stuff is out of her game. And my son will eat a piece or two, but he's only 10 months, so it's not like he eats a whole lot. Now, sooner or later, when he's a couple years older, if we're here and everything's still intact as far as America goes, we'll be keeping quite a few of them and having some fish fry. That was my favorite thing doing growing up. Was me and my dad used to go catfishing all the time. My dad didn't grow up in an outdoor family, but that's what I didn't take to sports or anything, so he taught me how to fish while kind of teaching himself how to fish, you know. That sun is getting very bright. Toss on my Slim Shadies. I got a 6-inch swim bait for, there's supposedly some muskie in here and pike and some real big ones. I've been trying to catch pike for, like actively targeting pike this year. I did about 4 weeks, about a month worth of fishing just for pike. Couldn't get on one. I mean, never tried to catch them before, so it's all new to me. But I like toothy fish. I caught 4.2 or 4.5 pound walleye. My buddy Craig, shout out to him, he taught me how to walleye fish. And we went down to a reservoir in southern Indiana and hit him up pretty good. Caught a limit. Some of the better eating fish I've ever had. I'm probably gonna shut the camera down for a minute. I've only got 2 fully charged batteries, so I've got to be very particular on my usage. Watch, I'm going to shut the camera off and smack a fish the next cast. Nice little hybrid. See if we can hook up into another one of those. Switch to a 3/8 ounce white rooster tail. The fish here are feeding on shad and small minnow, so match the head. There it is. Number 4 or 5, maybe 6 of the day. See if we can't repeat that. Make 2 on camera. Or 3 on camera, I'm sorry. Getting kind of toasty though. Look at that guy. It's been about an hour since I've had a bite. Been trying to grind out these fish. Been a pain in. Had a lot of people crowding me. I mean, I get it, it's public, but let's see if we can get one more. Get it on camera completely. The hook's set, and it's been tough. The water's a little high. I threw a 3/8 ounce rooster tail, caught one. Right now, I'm running just plain old rattle trap. I wish I had another silver one. I do, but it's a little large for the fish I've been catching. If I hooked into a couple, 2-3 pounders, then yeah, I'd throw it, but it's a little much for what I'm trying to scrape out of here. I really think I should actually go smaller, throw like a curly Q jig or something, but we're gonna grind it out with the rattle trap. It's worked great in the past. I just don't have the color I want. I was hoping for a couple big wiper, but take what I can get at this moment in time. I might tie my silver one back on just to see if it's the lack of being able to see it. Water's quite murky, so probably not seeing the reflection of a dull color. Nice little guy. I'm gonna get the stringer out the next one. Hopefully the bite picks up. I've only got a few hours left. Been really struggling. One, my spot being taken. It's been a hassle trying to grind out a couple nice ones one of those days. I was hoping for a decent looking outcome and get out here early, make lunch, and then go to work, but man, I'm really struggling. I mean, it probably doesn't help. This place gets beyond overfished, and everyone keeps every fish they catch. I mean, no fault to them. Thought about switching to a little curly tail grub. I don't know about all that yet. There's one. Oh, I missed him. Curly tail grub, or a small swim bait if I could. I don't know. The bite's been real slow. Not but last week I was hitting them just about every other cast, or beginning of the week I should say. I've got more people crowding me today than anything, which I don't care, because at the end of the day, public land is public land. Oh, had one. I think my hooks are dull on this thing. I don't know if y'all can see that, but it's put in its day of work. Oh yeah, the hooks are like beyond dull. I wish I had my snap ring pliers. I'd swap out at least one set. If I can get 5 or 6 on a stringer here. I guess I'm gonna have to start keeping the ones I don't really care to keep. I think I've caught a fish every 50 casts, 100 casts, which is not normal. I don't know if it's just because the water level or I'm not in the right spot, current's too tall. And like I use the rattle trap to filter out the itty bitty guys. The itty bitty guys aren't really exactly what I'm going for. I'm not going for the hogs, but I'm not going for the little guys. But also I haven't seen jack for shad. Normally there's a whole bunch of shad up around these parts, but I'm wondering with the current being so swift if they ain't downstream a little ways. There we go. There we go. Not a bad one. Not really what I want to keep, but we'll see about getting, if we can get a couple more of those, I'll start keeping them. That's one thing I like about these fish though. They're hard fighting. That and wiper. I mean, hybrids and wipers are pretty much the same thing. They are the same thing, I'm like 100% sure. There we go. Oh, he popped off. I really need to switch lures. Obviously, I'm losing more than I'm catching. The hooks are way dull. Like right there's one. Lost them. Yeah. Either need to switch lures or I'll start actually really setting the hook. So just got back. These are the ones I ended up keeping. A little smaller, nice little lunch, 6 little fillets. Should have kept a couple more. Didn't end up doing it, so get the meat. Gotta get the meat. Just fillet these like any other fish. I got oil heating up right now. Right behind the follow the spine. Now, don't be mean. I'm a catch and release fisherman for the most part. And my fillet knife is kind of very dull. Just follow that spine down to the tail. Flip it back. I left a little meat there and a little meat there, but I got a decent little fillet. We'll cut out that bone. And what I do, push it off to the side, push really hard on your fillet knife, and just scalp the skin. So then you're left with a nice little fillet. Granted, I did leave a lot of meat. Not a lot, but enough I should be concerned about. And then what I'll do is I'll soak this. Actually, I'm just going to cut 2 after all these are done. I take my finger, find the ribs. There ain't too many of them. You got a nice fillet. Rinse and repeat. See you when everything is done and we're ready to batter. So when doing this, do your wife a favor and put these in a separate bag that you take out right when you're about done. Keep the ladies happy. Halfway done. Just got one more fish left to do. And then I'm going to teach you my little shim sham on what to do with it. But in the meantime, I put them in ice cold water, the fillets, and just pull out the blood a little bit. There is a blood vein in these. They got a little red meat. I don't really care about it. I'll eat it either way. Alright, you got your fish soaking in ice cold water. One small bowl, for the amount of fish I got. I'm going to use one small bowl, one bigger bowl. In the small bowl, I'm going to crack an egg. I use the whole egg, not just the yolk. I know a lot of people just use yolk, but I find if you just use the yolk, it tastes better. It works better if you just use the yolk. But I'm not going to justifiably, I might need 2 eggs, but I'm not going to justifiably separate 2 eggs worth. And then the bigger bowl, I use this, cheapo fish fry, which it's normally just flour, breadcrumbs, I should say, or panko, and cornstarch, I think, if I got that right. A little bit of pecker. Gotta have some pepper. They don't ever put enough salt in it, so I put a dash of salt. Probably should wash your hands before you do that. Don't tell my wife. This is a secret ingredient right here. And I go heavy with this. Don't be shy. There is some salt in it, but don't be shy. Now mix it together with anything but your fingers. Voila. Now you're going to drain your fish. So you got your fish fillets, and then you're gonna want to pat them pretty well to completely dry. We buy these squares instead of roll paper towel, but either way it works. And I take this moment to go ahead and just feel where you cut off the ribs. You don't really want any bones unless that's your gig. I mean, I'll eat bone, not eat the bone, but I'll eat around the bones if it's like, I know this sounds weird, but I like eating Asian carp. And they got Y bones, but what I'll do is, I think earlier in the day, I mentioned how there's a section of meat that ain't got no Y bones. So if you catch a couple Asian carp and they're invasive, they're not supposed to be in the waterways, you're supposed to kill them anyways, just catch a couple of them. Take out the choice meat, or what I do is I cut in, you got your Y bone, and I cut it so you have like a chicken nugget sized piece with a Y bone in the middle, and I just eat the meat off the Y bone, but it's flaky white meat. Some people cut this little bit of red meat off of it, this mud vein. It doesn't run all the way through the meat. I don't mind it, don't bother me none. Just as most people mix fat in their deer, I don't, because I don't think it needs it. And then in this pan, we got scorching oil. Ignore the color of that oil. I might have already done this once before in like the last day, 2 days. You're gonna go wet, one hand dry. Just saves you so much more time and a mess. Keep your wife happy. And what I do is I just put it in there. I make sure it's coated pretty good, you know, egg wash, evenly coated. I'll put 2 or 3 in there, and then I'll mix it up. See you when we get to put all this stuff in the hole. Little AMSR. That's the color you want. Nice tan, golden, crispy. Smells so good in here. Get you a plate ready. Get you a plate ready. Nice fine china. Thanks to my great grandma. Put a paper towel on it. Optional. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And I fry all my stuff in peanut oil. Peanut oil or no oil. Or beef tallow. Beef tallow is pretty good too, but I haven't made any in a minute, so about a minute more. And I always use stainless. I cook in either stainless most of the time. Anyways, my old lady is pretty good at cooking in stainless, so healthier, no Teflon, no chemicals. As I use a plastic cutting board, LOL. Give these a minute. Now technically, since this stuff, how fresh it is, you don't really need to worry about like overcooking it. I don't really eat store-bought fish, so I can't speak on that. I think anything farm-raised fish-wise is probably not the best option. And it's fun to catch it. Now, like I said, I normally am a catch and release guy, but I do eat a lot of wild game, and I do cook a lot of wild game. And then don't throw out the oil. If you're like, I'm gonna go back out either tomorrow night or Sunday for Father's Day with my family. But look at that. Nice and crispy, hotter than heck. I'm gonna let it cool for a minute and then give you a mouthful. All right. This will be Catch and Cook episode number 1 of as many as I can film. How about that? Maybe me and Dan can get together, do one together, but let's give it a taste test. I don't know if you can hear that. Nice and crispy. Beautiful white flaky meat. Not overpowering, not tough like tilapia. I don't like tilapia. I think tilapia is like eating a boot. But this white bass or striped bass or hybrids are basically the fish that are what we catch down at the local dam. Is some of the best eating fish you can ever go ahead and get. I'm gonna finish this off camera. As always, like, subscribe, comment down below. This is our first attempt at any sort of catch and cook. We might film one Sunday. Let me know what kind of species you'd like to see caught and cooked, or if you'd like, one fish challenge, the first fish I catch that's legal. I will eat everything besides a few. Comment down below, let me know, and you'll probably end up seeing it. And like I can do like a little series where I ditch hop, find some ditch fish. I'd like to, like I was saying earlier, I'd like to try to find a cubby hole with some pike. I'd like to try it. But as always, go outside, push your limits, find your freedom, and just go enjoy the day. Go enjoy the outside. Teach your kids about conservation and nature, because it's something that is desperately needed. People are representatives are constantly trying to sell public land. It's a battle. We need to make sure that generations behind us or whatever know that, hey, there's more to life than store-bought stuff. There's more to life than a screen, video games. And there's a lot more enjoyment in life than just manufactured enjoyment. Go outside, see the water. Even if you don't catch anything, a bad day fishing is way better than doing anything else other than maybe, off the top of my head, 2 things. Deer hunting and duck hunting. Well, waterfowl hunting. Other than that, you can't ever convince me that a bad day fishing is worse than anything. And like today, the bite was slow, but I still had a good time, and I got a decent meal out of it. Respect the conservation laws, as hindering as you think they may be. It's to protect, or try to protect, tomorrow's and the next generation. And if you ever never went fishing, drop a comment, and we'll step by step teach anyone anything. We'll make videos about anything. But find your freedom, go outside, touch some grass, look at the stars, and as always, like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.